All right, guys, so you're going to go ahead and open up a blank Word document. Again, if you're working on a PC, it's going to look a little different. And I'm going to maximize my view here. And the first thing we're going to do is save our Word document. So Control S, or just click the save. And I think if you're on a PC, go to File, Save. And you're going to make sure you choose the OneDrive that has your email below it. And go to your computers folder and name it. I'm going to name mine quarter schedule. You can name it just schedule. Just name it something so you can easily find it when you go to it. And then just hit save. And you know it's saving correctly here because it will say quarter schedule. The other thing you want to make sure you do is it should quick save every like 5 minutes, but sometimes after you've done some work, just go ahead and hit Control or Command S. Okay, we're going to change the page margin. So go to Layout, and you can click Margins, Custom Margins, and change your left and your right to 0.5, just so we have more room right and left so our table can be, we can type some words and make our font bigger. We're going to insert a table. Our table, the columns are going to say period, class, teacher, room, and just go down as far as you can and then just click, and it should just put a table. Now right here, if your table doesn't look right, click this table selector button and cut it, or undo this button up here, or Control or Command Z will undo it and then just insert a new table. But don't, if your table doesn't look right here, don't keep working in it or insert another table inside of it. Okay. You're just going to say that this is your first or whatever quarter schedule. So you can put your nickname, whatever, this is yours. Cruises, first quarter. Having some problems spelling today. I didn't hit enter or anything there. It's just going to go ahead and wrap, and we'll fix that later, so don't worry about it. But don't press enter. All right. And we're just going to put in our column headings, and that tells you what is the information that's in each column. And just use your left pinky to press tab. Don't grab your mouse or take your hand off and go and click. Just use your tab key to move about the keyboard. So period, class, teacher, room. Okay, now this is where it's going to be different if you're working on a PC. So on the PC, when you move your mouse like right here, it gives you a little plus sign. You want to make sure you're not clicked on that. So I'm going to move my cursor just a little bit out further to get this black arrow. There's a couple different ones on the PC. So when you click, it should just select your whole row. If it just selects your first cell, then double click and it should select that whole row. Okay, so we're going to go to our home ribbon and make our text all caps. So click on this little change case and choose uppercase. Okay. And here's where we're going to use our tab key. Don't start filling out class or teacher or room. We're going to use the tab key to move about the table. And if you type 1ST tab, 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 it should make that ST superscript if you just do it right after that. Sometimes just adding a space and then pressing tab, so T2 and D space and then tab, tab, tab. So don't worry about lunch or anything else. Just go ahead and fill out the table. And we are going to run out of room, but don't worry about it. This is where I call what I call tabbing through. So when you get here, just go ahead and type 7TH and then 8TH and then space or tab. So that way you get that. You don't like add a row below. So if you accidentally add an extra row below, you can just select it and go to your table layout, and you could just choose delete. Delete what? Delete the row. So, all right. So, so if you're in computer's second hour, then you would do this to fifth hour. If you're in computer's fifth hour, you would do this to second hour, like I'm going to. So I press space after my ND, so when I click there, I have a big cursor. If I didn't press space, see how my cursor is like half the size of a normal cursor? Well, that's because it's a superscript cursor. So to type non-superscript, I have to turn that off. So I'm going to click on that, and then if I do space, red, and then I'm going to add a row in between. So that way I have a second hour blue. Now, again, if you are on a PC, you can just move your mouse right here. And if you move it out to the side, it looks like a little plus sign in a circle. And it looks like a thermometer on the side is what I say. And you would just add a row that way. But if not, you have to go to Table Tools Layout. And I'm in second hour, so I want to add a row below it. So I'm going to go to Insert Below. And I would just do 2 and D space, blue. Okay, again, some of you guys would do that in fifth hour. We're going to do the same thing for eighth, so we're going to type ELT, and then we would put the name of our ELT here. So again, you might have to type, you might have to turn the superscript off, or you can type it superscript and then highlight it and tell it to turn it off. All right, we're going to add lunch between fourth and fifth hour. So again, you can just click. Ooh, what was that? Is that it? Sorry guys, this is new for me. Okay, so I'm going to click here in fourth and just do insert below. Okay. And before I type lunch, I'm going to go to insert, symbol, or advanced. Now on the PC, I think it's just called symbol. And then you go to insert symbol or something. You're going to choose a WebDing. And in your WebDing, so on the PC, sometimes you have to scroll down. It looks like a knife, a plate, and a fork or something. And click insert twice. And watch the two come in there. And then close. And then if you click in between these two, and I'm going to, in all caps, type lunch again. And we're good there. So what you're going to do here is you're going to go ahead and start filling out your schedule. So like here, I would put, in non-caps, my teacher is Cruz, and my room number is 305. I'm going to continue to fill this out, and I'm going to put so like for ELA here, Preston, so I'm going to put the North Hall teacher first, and then put the South Hall teacher. And then same thing with their room number. I'll put the North Hall teacher's room number first, and the South Hall teacher's room number second. Okay. So again, even if your classes are not in the same order, that's okay. This should help with those room numbers, and you can always use your schedule. Now we're going to apply a border to our table, and we're going to use it like a custom border. So go up here and click on your table selector button. And to have that, you have to be clicked somewhere in your table. Okay. And then go up here to Table Tools, Design, and go over here to Borders, choose the down arrow, and go all the way down to Borders and Shading. Okay. So I want to use different borders for the outside than for the inside. So I'm going to choose Custom. Okay. And you always choose your border first, like the line style first. I'm just going to choose a regular line. And then my color is going to be like a maroon. I'm going to make it pretty thick. That's my outside border. Okay. And then I'm going to tell it where I want it to go. It says here, click on diagram or use buttons to apply the borders. So I only want them to go here. Okay. Then I'm going to change my border style. Maybe make it just a little bit thicker. And then apply it going up and down. And then click OK. Okay, now if what I want to do is change it here, like maybe change these inside borders, but keep the lines going across looking a little different. That is where you're going to use your border painter. So whatever your border looks like here, it's probably the last one that you have, and here's your pen color. You just click on the border painter and then click where you want it to paint, and it will paint that different border there. I'm okay with the border that I have here, except for I want it to be thick there. So I'm going to go to different border style, and I think I did. I'm going to use my, oh, that's too thick. Oh, maybe not. Use my border painter and paint it right there. There. And that'll make sense here in a little bit once we merge some stuff, okay? So I'm going to turn my border painter off, so it's done painting. Now we're going to shade. So again, before I merge cells, I'm going to use my shader. So here I'm going to just click shading. But this time I want to just shade where it says period, class, teacher, room. So again, I can just select that row or use my mouse. And I'm going to shade those a kind of a deep navy, and it should automatically change my font color. And then I'm going to select first through 8th ELT, shading. I'm going to choose a lighter color of that blue. Okay. I'm also, with those selected, going to right align them, so I can go to my home ribbon and do right align or Command or Control R to right align those. Then I'm going to make my border smaller between there. And again, it's going to show it up here, but don't worry about lunch. We're going to be merging lunch later, but we are going to make our font a little bit bigger. So give yourself some room there. I'm going to do the same thing between class and our teacher and room here. Okay, so to use the eraser, you click on it, and then if you're on the PC, it's going to be the magic dust at the bottom of the eraser, but if you're on a Mac, it's the top of the eraser. That's confusing, I know. Okay, and so here's the other way to merge cells. So you turn your eraser off, and you select the cells where lunch is, and you just go to merge cells, and then you would center that. So that's either home, sorry, I hate that, home, center, or Command E or Control E, either way. All right, so we're going to now just kind of clean up our table. Let's go up here, and so these should be right aligned. So let's select period, class, teacher, room, and center those. And then you can go ahead and center these as well, if that's helpful. And again, here in just a minute, we can go back and make either class or teacher smaller or bigger. I'm running out of time here. So let's click the table selector button, choose a new font. As long as it's readable, it's up to you. I wouldn't choose like Black Oak or one of these like big old bolded ones. It's going to be too hard to read. I'm going to try one I've never used before, Chalk Duster. Okay. And then I'm going to grow my font. Now, again, some fonts are bigger than others. So I'm going to grow my, and you can probably make yours a little bit bigger because I have 2 teachers' names and room number. So I'm going to stop there. All right. Then I'm going to select up here my title, and I'm going to center that. And I can change the font of that. Sometimes when I make it look like this, I like to change the font. But here I'm going to go to text effects and typography and choose whichever one I want. And just because I choose that one doesn't mean it has to stay white with a blue filling. To change the fill color, I can go here and that will fill in my letters. And then to change the outline, I would go here. I can add a shadow or a reflection, or so that completes the table making video. So now if you would watch the next video.